Watch this guide to get good at Fiora. Hey guys, I'm wickd, I'm a challenger player, and over the last couple of days I've been spamming Fiora to practice her and perfect her before I make this guide for you guys. Alright, let's get into the runes. For the runes you want to run Conqueror. Conqueror is absolutely fantastic in Fiora, very used to prog and works with a lot of your abilities. Second up we have Triumph and Presence of Mind. Both of these are very good to take. Personally, I would actually advertise you to go Presence of Mind, because I found out it's just slightly better in my eyes. Alright, and now we're getting to Instinct, because honestly here you can choose all three of them. Alacrity feels the best, that's the one I'd go for most of the time. Tenacity is pretty good if the enemy team have a lot of CC and you need it. And then Bloodline is good for sustain, it's also fantastic, especially against poking champions. Now, I would mostly go for Alacrity because it feels better, but Alacrity actually have the lowest win rate, so it all depends what you want to go for. And in the last one, you want to go either Coup de Grace or Last Stand. Last Stand if you're having close fights, and Coup de Grace if you're trying to kill opponents. For example, let's say you're playing as a Tryndamere. You're not really having close fights because he goes down to no health and then you just want to pop him off. In the second tree, I would recommend Inspiration with Boots and Cookies or Cooldown Reduction. You can go the Cookies if you want to fight along the laning phase. Let's say you're playing Fiora against Renekton, fighting all the time, you want to apply as much damage as you can, and then have a little bit more sustain from the Cookies. They're fantastic for that job. But if you don't need that, cooldown will eventually be better. Alright, let's get into item builds, and these are pretty interesting to me because I actually do something different from what the normal people do. So normal build would be to go Tiamat, into Ravenous Hydra, then you go Trinity Force, and after that you go Death Stance. Once you have the 3 core items, you're obviously going to have boots as well, but after you have those, you're going to go GA or Sterix Gauge, and then afterwards the other one. And that should complete your build, having 5 items plus boots. Now what I prefer doing is actually Tiamat into Trinity Force and then Ravenous Hydra. Now the reason for this is because you're going to have a lot more damage, but you're going to have a lot less sustain. So if you want sustain, it's obviously much better to go for the Ravenous first and just rush it in. But if you want to have more damage, like I prefer, then Trinity is much better to get before the Ravenous, because you're going to be able to do a lot more damage and burst people down, which fits my playstyle much more. I like pushing out waves and then doing as much damage as possible in a very short period of time. Now regarding boots, you can go for Mercury Treads, you can go for Ninja Type Eyes, or you can go for the Boots of Swiftness, which is +3 movement speed. I actually kind of like Boots of Swiftness on Fiora because it's fantastic for split pushing, and it's also pretty good at hitting on your vitals, makes it a lot easier. However, obviously if you need Ninja Type Eyes, buy those. If you need Mercury Treads, buy those, right? Alright, let's get into Fiora's abilities. So the passive is extremely important. It puts a vital on the opponent. If you hit the vital, you deal damage to them, which is true damage. You heal yourself, and you also get movement speed, so you can prog it and then quickly run away. Another thing you want to note is if you walk out of the range of the opponent, you can go back in range, and then the vital is going to pop at a new location. That is very important to know. If you want to have vitals at specific locations, you just quickly go out of range and then back in. You have a much better position of it, and then it's easier to hit it for you. The second ability is the Q. It's basically just a dash with very low cooldown. If you hit something, it gets reduced by 60%. Now if you don't hit anything, it's going to be 16-second cooldown, which is extremely long. So you want to make sure you try and hit stuff. Now one thing to note with this ability is you can use it outside of auto attack range. And you can often use it as a poking ability, where enemies, if they're melee, can't hit you back. Now the Q can also be used to proc the vitals. It can be used to hit wards or turrets, and it also applies on hit effects. So if you steal the enemy red buff, or if you get your own for some reason, then you can use it to activate the red buff, and you can slow people with it and do damage. Now we get to Fiora's W, Riposter. This ability is extremely important. Basically, you become invulnerable for 0.75 seconds. If you get crowd control during this time, then you're going to stun in that direction that you're facing, so you can use it to stun opponent and bait out important abilities. Also, the W now have been buffed and does a lot of damage. And even if you don't get CC crowd control, then you'll still be able to slow the enemy's attack speed and movement speed by 50% for 2 seconds. So it's very important you hit this ability. Next up we have Fiora's E. When you activate the E, you get 25 more range and you get bonus attack speed, so you're going to attack faster. Also, the first hit will slow the opponents by 30%, it won't be able to crit. The second hit is going to 100% guarantee crit the opponents, depending on how high level your ability currently is. Now an important thing to note is that Fiora's E is also an auto attack animation cancel, so you can use it after auto attacking the enemy to increase your DPS and have a higher DPS. Last but not least, we have Fiora's Ultimate Grand Challenge. You challenge the opponent champion for 8 seconds. You're going to have increased movement speed, 10, 20, 30%, and then the opponent gets 4 vitals on him. Now if you hit those 4 vitals, a massive circle will appear which heals everyone in that circle from your team, which is absolutely amazing in teamfight. Now hitting 4 vitals can be very difficult in teamfights, pretty easy in 1v1s, or can be. Now the thing is also, if you just hit 2 vitals or 3 or 1, then you're still going to make that circle if the target dies, so you don't actually need to hit all of them. So it can be used on lower health target that's getting killed. As long as you hit a couple of vitals, then it's going to proc. Now the duration of the proc depends on how many vitals you're hitting. If you hit 4 vitals, then it's going to be there for 5 seconds. If you hit 2 vitals, it's only going to be there for 3 seconds. So you're going to have a lot more healing if you manage to get all the vitals. Alright, let's go over Fiora's skill order. Most of the time you want to max Q over E over W. So you max W last, you max E second, and then you max Q first. That is the preferred route. Almost everyone does it. It just works really well. Some people will max W second, but it's not as good in my eyes. Now, the first 3 levels, what you want to do is generally Q, W, E. Because it's much more safe, it's strong for fights, and it's just overall great. However, if you have a super easy lane where you can apply more damage, then you can go Q, E, W, and that also works. Hey guys, time to talk about combos with Fiora. Combos are very important. For laning phase, I think these 2 are the most important ones. The first one, you wait till they walk up to you with a vital in front of them. And then what you do is, you auto E walk away with the Q. And then you put distance between you two, and you can just get out. It's to avoid taking a lot of damage while doing a big amount of damage to the opponent. It's pretty good overall. The other one that I like a lot is you auto E, then W to slow them. Use the E slow to hit the W easier. And then you Q in or out, depending on what you want to do. Like that. And then you can go for the next vital, and then you can Q away afterwards. You get 5 hits in. You could also chase them down if you want, depending on health and however's going on. Overall, I think this is one of the best combos you can use if you don't need to save your E or W for other things. For example, if you're playing against the Jax, maybe you want to save your W. If you're playing against the Sign, maybe you want to save your W, right? It all depends what you're against. But overall, for maximum damage, I like that combo a lot. Now, if you do some crazy combos with ultimate, what I prefer to do is auto E the ultimate W, walk, Q, walk, boom. I was supposed to hit the last one there, I messed that one up. But you get the point, right? That's the one I prefer to do if I want to fight people with my ultimate. I think it's the easiest one to proc. Now, the fastest Fiora combo you can do with your ultimate is ultimate W, walk, flash, Q, and just hit it, right? You hit all the vitals extremely quickly. This is an all-in combo. It can be used. You can proc all your vitals in about a second, I guess. Do you think this is the best combo to do? I mean, it's really, really good if you do it. But there's a high chance of failure, and if you fail it, it's really bad. So you need to practice it a lot if you want to do it. But I still want to showcase it because it's a possibility that you should look into. Now remember, use your E if you can, if you don't need to save the W for anything. Use E to slow people, and then use the W to hit them afterwards. Hitting W and slowing the attack speed and movement speed is super important. A lot of people on Fiora tend to value the stun too high, and they don't just value the slow and attack speed slow, which is also already amazing. And they're just trying to predict all the time, which you can't predict that all the time, right? Sometimes you mess up, sometimes you hit it. If you can win without predicting, don't even try and predict. Only predict if you have to. And that's it for my Fiora guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and peace out, boys.